Hey, ZN Rule here, bringing you another Battlefield 3 commentary. I'm using the G53. This is Conquest Domination on Op 925. But I'm here to talk to you guys about a topic that, I guess it's not something, I guess wouldn't be original, but something that's just been kind of pissing me off. And that's movies. Hollywood, as it were. I'm sure some of you have noticed that all the big movies today, the top grossing movies or whatever, the ones that, the most popular movies, seem to be, well, okay, let's start this way. Since the 1980s, you had, like, I read a list that had 1980s, 1990s, 2000s, and then so far in this decade of the top grossing movies, the 10 top grossing movies of the decade. And in the 80s, it was, the 70s, 80s, whatever. It was all these new movies, these, in the 70s, Star Wars, you had Indiana Jones, Jaws, stuff like that, Ghostbusters. And in the 90s, it was much of the same. There was a lot of good movies that were out that, were original. And then as you get closer to today, the movies just seem to be adaptations, sequels, or remakes. Some of the top-grossing movies in the past 2.5 years seem to be just all crap. I mean, from the top of my head, the top grossing movies in the past 2.5 years, there's only one that's original, and that was Inception, which, don't get me wrong, it was a great movie, but other of the top grossing movies, Avatar, which a lot of you were like, hey, that's original. No, it's not. The same storyline has been done 5,000 times. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but the movie has been done, whether it be Pocahontas, if you want to go Disney, you have Dances with Wolves. There's just so many times where one civilization goes into another civilization to get something, and they think it's just this, the natives are weak and can be taken over easily. Well, clearly that's not true in any of the movies, because then problems occur, whether it be gold or whatever it was in Avatar, whatever that frickin' element they were looking for. Immaterial, and that's one of the top grossing, that is the top grossing movie of all time. And it's an adaptation, a remake of something we've seen many, many, many times before. And now recently, you have The Avengers, which, don't get me wrong, I love the movie. It was a great movie. However, it is an adaptation of a comic book. Not original thought whatsoever. The Hollywood is taking over is taking the mindset of us, and they're like, okay, this is what they'll like. This is what they know we'll like. Let's just make a movie out of it. And so it's stupid, because we're not actually getting original ideas. Like I said, the only movie that I can think of in the top 10 movies in the past few years has been, all remakes, as I said. Just going through a list of the top grossing movies of all time, you have, obviously, like I said, Avatar is at the top. And number 2 is Titanic, which, okay, they took a true story and made a love story out of it. Okay, that's fine. And, then you have Harry Potter, adaptation of a book, Transformers, an adaptation of a comic book / cartoon. You have The Lord of the Rings, which is an adaptation of a book. The Dark Knight Rises, which is an adaptation of a comic book. You get what I'm saying here? You have to go all the way down to, number 17 of all-time grossing movies, and that's The Lion King, is the only original movie that's not a not a sequel, an adaptation, or a remake, because you have Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest was a sequel. Toy Story 3 was a sequel. Pirates of the Caribbean: On Stranger Tides, a sequel. Star Wars Episode 1 was a prequel. Alice in Wonderland is a remake. The Dark Knight is a adaptation. So all of these movies that we go and see aren't original at all, and it's ridiculous. It's stupid. And it honestly just pisses me off that we keep Hollywood keeps spitting out these movies, and they're like, oh, here's a new movie for you. We're gonna make a movie based off of that comic book that you all love, and yeah, it's freaking stupid. But it's not like it always has been this way. I mean, you go back to the 1980s, like I said, and the top 5 grossing movies were E.T., which was original, Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back, which, yes, they were sequels. I get it. Okay, Batman was an adaptation. Raiders of the Lost Ark was a sequel. Ghostbusters was an original. Beverly Hills Cop, original. Back to the Future, original. The Last Crusade, original. Temple of Doom, yeah, it was, oh, excuse me, I should go back. Raiders of the Lost Ark was not a sequel. But anyway, and then you go back to the 1970s, and they're all original. Star Wars, original. Jaws, original. The Exorcist, original. The Sting, original. Animal House, Rocky Horror, The Godfather, Superman. Well, Superman, not so much. Close Encounters. I mean, all these movies are originals, and we're stuck with getting all these, regurgitated crap. And it started in the 90s, because the top grossing movie in the 90s is Titanic. Okay. Kind of original, kind of not. Phantom Menace, it's a prequel, but it's Star Wars, so it's different. Jurassic Park was an original. Forrest Gump was original. The Lion King, like I said, was original. Independence Day, original. Sixth Sense, all of these things were originals. And then once you get into the 2000s, all you have for the top 10, out of the top 10, there's only one original movie that's not an adaptation and is not a remake or sequel, and that's Finding Nemo. Believe it or not, that's number 9 of the 2000s. So, and in the top 25, there's only, I think, 3. You have Finding Nemo, The Passion of the Christ, and Up. And that was it. Out of all of those, every other one of them is either a prequel, sequel, adaptation, or remake. It's freaking ridiculous. Hollywood, you need to get your shit together and start making new movies with new ideas, because it's really stupid. I think it needs to be fixed, and, well, fixed, yeah. Just Hollywood needs to get their shit together. Because I don't know about you, but I absolutely enjoyed, I love that Inception. It was a great movie, and I think that the overall concept of the movie was something that I don't want to say anyone can relate to, because that's stupid, but yeah. And, in the upcoming months, we have a couple new movies coming out that, do I think they're going to do great? No, because, as I said, you have, like, The Avengers is the top grossing movie of this year so far, and I don't think anything's even going to touch it. But I don't know if you've seen the trailers for the movie Looper, which is about that guy, the time traveler, or excuse me, when there's time travel and he works for the mob and he kills people that they send back in time, and he ends up having to kill himself, or he has to be forced to try and kill himself and whatever. And it's, it's pretty original. I mean, time travel in and of itself is not original at all, but it's hard to come up with original ideas. But if you can come up with, a new way of portraying an idea, then I'll consider that being original. Now, I don't count that as the Avatar, because the storyline is the same. They just portrayed the storyline in a different way. Anyways, so this gameplay is getting ready to wrap up. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys like and favorite the video, and thanks for watching.